What are the benefits of meditation? I'm sure that a lot of people have heard that meditation is really good for you, but you may not know why. And honestly, the list of benefits of meditation are sort of endless, but I'm going to highlight just a few of the main ones in this video. So, one of my personal main benefits of meditation is the skill of being able to focus your thought on one thing. Obviously, as I said in the previous video of what meditation actually is, it's not a removal of thought, it's a focus of thought. And once you practice doing meditation, if you're doing it consistently, that's why I do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos. So you get 3 of them per week to do on those days. There's a level of consistency to that, and it's nice and structured, which makes it easier to follow, really. But if you can build up a habit of being able, and a skill, I guess, of being able to focus your thought just on one thing at a time, that's something that you can use at any time during the day. You know, when you get really overwhelmed with your thoughts and there's just a million things going around in your head, if you can focus just on one thing, maybe it's the task at hand, maybe it's the emotion that you're feeling that you just sort of need to process to be able to get on with the rest of your day. If you can focus on that one particular thing and sort of shut out all of the other noise, that makes me feel so much calmer, so much more in control, so much more balanced and centered and sort of grounded within myself. That is what I would say is the most transferable skill from meditation. Is just, it's like training a muscle. It's like training your brain just to focus on the one thing at a time, which means you'll feel less overwhelmed. And that means you'll feel less anxious, less stressed, all of that sort of stuff. I think that's my main one. All of the other benefits include improved sleep. I know a lot of people do guided meditations just before they're going to go to sleep because it does really relax you and it really calms you down. So, improved sleep, improved overall well-being, improved brain function because it's, you're training your brain to do something effectively. It's also really good for reducing the overwhelm of thought because you have a specific time dedicated for just one thing and just one thought, which your brain really likes. It gives you more energy because you're giving yourself that sort of centered grounding time. And all of these benefits come from not that much work as well. Like I've said before, the meditations that I film are between 5 and 10 minutes, and there are 3 per week. So that's at the absolute maximum 30 minutes per week, which is not a huge amount of time for really, really big benefits. And then the benefits that you start seeing really quickly as well. It's not something that takes months and months for you to get any reward from. You can get benefits from it relatively quickly. So, reduced anxiety, reduced stress, reduced overwhelm. You have more energy, you're less tired, you're more focused, your attention span is better, it reduces procrastination. So then you're more efficient with work, you're more efficient with your hobbies or creative things that you like to do. It really is an overall benefit. There are so many brilliant things about it, and like I said, for not that much effort put in, very short time commitment. It's a very small commitment. If you can find 5 or so minutes 3 times a week, get yourself nice and comfortable, whack the meditation on, and then go about your day. It really is that simple, but does make a lot of difference. And it's the sort of thing that once you start doing, you go, why have I ever not done this? It's one of those sorts of things. So lots of benefits, very straightforward to do, something that if you can just make a habit of, it will reward you in a lot of different ways. What actually is meditation? I think a lot of people have quite a lot of misconceptions about what meditation is. And I can tell you that it's not shutting off your mind and stopping your thoughts. It's very, very difficult to not think. Our brain is programmed to think. That's basically, it's not its only job, but it's one of its main jobs, is to produce thoughts. We are not striving to shut off thoughts completely. We are striving to have an awareness of our thoughts. That's why guided meditation is really, really helpful. And I personally find it really helpful. I do sometimes meditate just sort of by myself without any aids, but I find guided meditation is really helpful because it really focuses your mind on what you're actually thinking about and what you're listening to. And I guess the whole point of meditation and what it actually is to allow us to just think about one thing at a time. More often than not, day-to-day life is so hectic and so busy that we have so many things to think about at all times. It's like there's a million things going on, a million different things to do. You just feel manic in your head. So meditation gives you that focus on one particular thought. And with the guided meditations, all you're doing is just listening to what the individual, in this case me, is saying. And that's your only job at that time, is just to listen to the words, to connect with your body and with your breath, to be present, and to listen to what I am saying. So what meditation actually is, it's not a turning off your brain, it's not a turning off your thoughts, it's focusing on one particular thought. And inevitably your mind will wander. Your mind will probably go onto what you can have for dinner, or what you need to do after this, or what you've got to do at work tomorrow. But that's not even a bad thing necessarily. The skill is to notice when your mind has done that relatively quickly, and to bring it back to listening to the words and listening to the guided meditation. So it's not even stopping the wandering of the thoughts. That's not the aim either. It's being aware of when your thoughts are wandering and allowing yourself to come back to the body and the breath that the words are being spoken to you. So meditation is a focus of thought, it's not a removal of thought. How do you actually meditate? A lot of people know that meditation is good for you and they know that you should do it, not really sure how to do it. And it's actually very straightforward and it's very simple as long as you know how. And that's why I like to go back to guided meditations, because they are the most simple and the most straightforward and the most low effort meditation that you can do. You can choose to meditate by yourself and just sort of come up with things in your head. But I find the guided meditations are much more straightforward and they don't require a lot of setup or a lot of thought, which is why I film and post the guided meditation. So all you need to do is basically get comfortable and turn it on. You can either meditate lying down, just flat on the floor, or on a sofa or on a bed, or it doesn't really matter. If I'm going to meditate lying down, I'll usually just lie on the floor or I'll lie on a yoga mat. As long as you're comfortable, the meditations that I post tend to be between 5 and 10 minutes, so you're not going to be lying down for very long. Or you can do them seated, again, as long as you're comfortable. It's all about sort of releasing any tension that you're holding on to. So if you're going to be sat down, I'd recommend having your back into a chair, both feet on the floor. If you're lying down, making sure you're lying flat. If that hurts your lower back, bend your knees up. So your feet are on the floor, but your knees are bent, and then just rest both of your knees together in the middle. That takes some pressure out of your lower back. And then again, if you're seated, just making sure your back's nice and rounded into the chair or wherever you're sat. I prefer to do meditation with my eyes closed because I think it allows me to focus a little bit better, but you can do it with your eyes open. And that's it, really. You just need to make sure you're in a comfortable enough position. You need to make sure that you're warm enough, preferably without any outside distractions. If you can be in a room that no one else is in, that's helpful. You can either use headphones or just play it through a speaker. Obviously, the meditations that I film are videos, so you can see them. But when I do them, because I tend to do my own ones back as well, I will just put up the laptop on my phone or whatever, and I'll either have headphones in or just have it set up and then just hit play and then lie down or sit down and close your eyes and then just listen to it. So that's the only really stuff that you have to do to actually be able to meditate, is just be comfortable, pop it on, just listen to what I'm saying. It's as simple as that. When and where are you supposed to meditate? Now, there's actually no right answer for this, as I'm sure you can imagine. I know a lot of people prefer either doing it first thing in the morning or last thing before you go to sleep. I find the benefits of doing it in the morning, again, just 5-10 minutes or so. This isn't sitting there for half an hour. All the videos that I film are between 5 and 10 minutes. But doing it in the morning, I feel like really sets you up quite well for the day. You go into the day feeling quite grounded, again, less anxious, less stressed. You feel a sense of peace and a sense of balance within yourself, which sets you up nicely for the day. Alternately, doing it at night is quite good if you struggle with your sleep, because it really puts you into a nice, calm, relaxed mindset in order to be able to fall asleep quicker. I know a lot of people find guided meditation is really helpful for getting to sleep quicker and then staying asleep once you're asleep. You can also use them sort of topically. So if you're feeling really stressed or feeling overwhelmed, doing a meditation for 5 minutes at the point of feeling stressed allows that stress to just reduce and to, again, remove that anxiety and remove the overwhelm and give yourself a little bit more clarity of thought. So you can use it topically. The bottom line is you can pretty much do it whenever you want to. And I would recommend choosing some different times when you start out and seeing what works best. You may prefer the evening, you may prefer the morning, you may prefer to just do it whenever you feel like it. And in terms of where to meditate, I would just say do it in a room where preferably you won't get interrupted. Preferably the only thing that you can hear is the meditation. You don't want to be too cold. You want to be at a nice, warm enough temperature, and you want to be comfortable. That's all you really need. There aren't massive requirements. I even know people do it on their commute. Like if you're on the train or something, put your headphones in, listen to a guided meditation, 5 or so minutes. You can literally do it anywhere, as long as obviously you have access to the meditations and somewhere comfortable to sit or lie down. But it's really person dependent. Give a couple of goes as to timings and where you do it. Find what works best for you, and then do it that way.